In this chapter, we're going to begin creating a simple site by reviewing content entry. We're going to start by getting comfortable with two basic concepts of a Drupal site, entities and nodes. Drupal is a complex framework and has an entire vocabulary that goes with it. Understanding that vocabulary makes it easier to get help, to make use of the educational resources that are available, and also to navigate the help text as you're learning Drupal. One page that you should always have handy while you're becoming a Drupal site builder or a developer is the glossary page on Drupal.org. So on Drupal.org, there is this documentation tab right here, and that's an incredibly valuable resource. In addition to a lot of information to help you get started in understanding how to work with your site and how to work with some of the more complex features, there are also these quick links down here, the developer guides, and other information. The first option is glossary. This page is fantastic because it gives you a lot of information about the various terms that are thrown around when you're talking with Drupal developers or when you're looking at the issue queue or trying to understand how to implement a task. Throughout this course, you will be hearing a number of these terms, and hopefully I will be grounding them for you so that you know what they mean when they come up. But if they aren't grounded and you don't know what they mean, then this is always a place that you can come to find out what that term actually means. The two terms that we're really focusing on right now are entities and nodes. We'll jump down to entities and take a look at what they mean. So, entities are defined chunks of data. The best explanation that I can think of to really help clarify this is how Instagram sends data directly to Facebook. So, let's take a look at a piece of data on Instagram. Here we have a photo of me and my son, and we have a description of that photo or a caption. We also have the comments that go along with the photo and information on when it was posted and who posted it. All of these bits of information are the chunks of data that make up this specific Instagram post. And this post as a whole is an entity. It also, however, has an entity within it, which is the image itself. If we pop over to Facebook, I have my Instagram account set to automatically post to Facebook as well. So this image, the date when it was posted, the caption, all of that information is automatically pushed over to Facebook because Facebook knows how to understand that entity, at least within the concept of how Drupal is making use of the idea of entities. Heading back to the glossary, entities can also be bundles, which are a specific implementation of an entity type. So, in a sense, that Instagram post is a bundle that's then sent over to Facebook. So, we're going to head over to the Drupal site and see what entities include. So, here we are on our Drupal site. If we look at the homepage here, we actually see two entities right off the bat. These are two articles, which are content. We also see two more entities right here, which are the two images associated with each of these articles. Those entities are files. If we look at the submitted by information here, we see that these are submitted by TC4A, which is the user that we're currently logged in as, who created these specific pieces of content. That user and any other user on the site is also an entity. Underneath the article, we see tags on the left. Those tags are gluten-free and baked goods. On the right-hand side, we see that there are two comments on this article. So those tags, those are entities. And the two comments that are on this article, those are also entities. Each of these things that can exist on the site is a chunk of content that's defined in a very specific way. And so they are all entities that can be used. And this concept is a key part of building a Drupal site because you're going to be using entities in different ways in pretty much everything that you do on the site. So then, what is a node, this other term that I referred to, node being Node? We're going to head back to the glossary and we're going to click on nodes because the glossary is very well written and makes it easy for you to move around as necessary. So as it says here, nodes are a piece of content in Drupal that typically correspond to a page on the site. Nodes are, in essence, a specific kind of entity, and all of the content that you enter onto the site, articles, basic pages, those are going to be nodes. So we're going to head back over to our site and we're going to go to the content page. Everything that will end up in this list of content, which currently only has 3 items, will be a node. Each and every one of these items will also have a specific node ID or NID. By default, that node ID will be at the end of the URL on that specific node. Okay, so I've gone to the peanut as a substitute for eggs node, and if we go up to the URL bar at the top, we'll see node 2. 2 is the node ID for this specific piece of content, and that node ID will be unique for each and every piece of content on your site. So you will always be able to reach a specific piece of content with the URL node and then the NID number that is associated with that specific node. So no matter what content type you are using, it will become a node. And out of the box, those content types are basic page and article. In this course, we'll also create content types for events and recipes, and those will look different and behave differently from the article and page content types.